Hola niños, hi boys and girls. Today we are continuing to learn about celebrations in the Spanish speaking world. This week we are looking at some other celebrations. Some of them we do share in common with Spanish speaking countries and some we don't. And we're gonna start with Dia de la Hispanidad or Dia de la Raza. And this is on el 12 de octubre each year. So El Día de la Hispanidad is also called the National Day of Spain, and it is celebrated on October 12th. Now in Spain, it was formerly called El Día de la Raza, and in many Latin American countries where October 12th is also observed. Now while it is still called El Día de la Raza in some countries such as Mexico, a lot of these countries no longer call it that, they call it Día de la Hispanidad. Now, on October 12, 1492 was when Christopher Columbus arrived to the Americas for the first time. And this event was of such great importance, right, in both the Spanish-speaking world and in the New World. Now, after he arrived in America on October 12, other trips were then organized by the Spanish crown as the king of Spain at the time for explorers such as Nunes de Balboa and Francisco Hernandez de Cordoba. It was Amerigo Vespucci, however, who realized that they had reached a different continent while he navigated the northern coast of South America along Brazil and Patagonia. And this was later called America. All right. Now, Faustino Rodriguez San Pedro created the name of this special day in 1913 while he was the president of the Ibero-American Union. And this is why they celebrate this day, and it is to honor Christopher Columbus's arrival into the Americas and to highlight the cultural unity that united Spain with Latin American countries. Now, this is a table that shows what it is called in some different Spanish speaking countries. So remember, we had said it was El Dia de la Raza throughout all the Spanish speaking world, and as time goes by, changes were made. So in Argentina, it is Dia del Respeto a la Diversidad Cultural. That's Day of Respect for Cultural Diversity. That's what it's called in Argentina. In Chile, it is Dia del Descubrimiento de los Mundos. That's the day of discovery of two worlds. And in the US, the United States of America, is the same day that they call Columbus Day. I don't know if sometimes you're watching TV and you see the ads talking about Columbus Day. It's the same day. All right. In Mexico, it's Dia de la Raza Iberoamericana. That's Ibero-American Columbus Day. In Uruguay, it's Dia de las Americas, Pan American Day. And in Venezuela, it's Dia de la Resistencia Indígena, the Day of Indigenous Resistance. Now, in 2014, the United Nations declared this day, October 12, as Spanish Language Day, which is a day to honor a language that unifies speakers on both sides of the Atlantic. Because remember that the original Spanish speakers came from Spain, which is where Christopher Columbus was from. And then when he came over into the New World, he brought his language with him. That's basically how we ended up with Spanish being spoken in different parts of the world other than Spain, it is said. Now, this is a celebration that we share in common with Spanish-speaking countries, and it's Semana Santa, La Semana Santa, or which is a Holy Week, really, and Easter, which in some books you may see it as La Pascua. All right, so let's talk about Semana Santa, which is Holy Week. So as I said, Semana Santa is a Spanish term for Holy Week, and this is the week leading up to Easter on the Catholic calendar. We know Easter is a Good Friday and Easter Monday, right? That period. Now, this is celebrated in almost all of the Spanish-speaking countries as almost all Spanish native people are Catholics. So Catholic is their number one denomination. Christianity, religion, Catholics, right? Most of them are Catholics, like 90% of Spanish people are Catholics. Now, this week is the highest of the Catholic holy days, and in this week they pray a lot and they go to Mass to prepare for Easter, right? It is celebrated to remember the last week of Jesus' life. Same thing we do in the English speaking world, and beginning with his arrival in Jerusalem, which is celebrated on Palm Sunday. And lastly, they celebrate Jesus' resurrection on Easter Sunday. So it's pretty much celebrated in the same way as we do here in Jamaica and in the Western world. Now, this next celebration, El Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, and this is celebrated on the 1st and the 2nd of November each year. Now, during these 2 days, the Spanish people celebrate this day to honor their children and adults who have died. As it says, it's a day that they celebrate the dead. Now, these children and adults include their families and friends. And on these days, what they do is they visit places where these people are buried and they decorate the graves with flowers. They also meet together as family and friends, and they build altars to celebrate the lives of the persons who have died. And on these altars, they place photos of the deceased, that's a dead person, as well as something that the person loved while they were living, their favorite things. So if they loved chocolate, that would be placed there. If they were a lover of I don't know, maybe jewelry, some form of jewelry would be placed there. Things like that. Anything that the person loved while they were alive, it would be placed there. On these days, they would also wear costumes and skull masks, right? And they also eat a sweet, nice and sugary bread called pan de muerto, which is a bread of the dead. So wherever the person is buried, they would go there. So yes, in the cemeteries, they usually go to the cemeteries and perform these things, and they would have lunch there, they eat there, and basically they just spend the day with the dead for this celebration in the Spanish speaking world. All right, now move on to another one. This one is very popular, Cinco de Mayo. Everybody's supposed to know about Cinco de Mayo because I think it is the one of, if not the most popular Spanish celebration. Now, this day is celebrated in Mexico, and they celebrate this day in remembrance of the victory they won when they fought the French army at the Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862. It is also known as Mexican Independence, Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo, lo siento. Right, so those are the different celebrations that we will be looking at for this week. Now, some of them we share with the Spanish speaking countries, and some we do not. All right, but it's important when learning a language that we learn about their culture as well, not just the tongue they speak, but you learn a bit about their culture so as to develop an appreciation for the language and its people. All right, now if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, you know how to reach out to me. Please, boys and girls, watch all the videos and read the handout on the celebrations. This is the handout that I've just gone through with you explaining, but I need you to read it for yourselves once again, all right, before you attempt to do the activity and answer some questions on the different celebrations. So until next time, boys and girls, adios.